All right, this is the video you've been waiting for. We are going to install Qwen 3 Edit 2511 so that you can just simple prompts be doing silly stuff like this. Just adding to your images, swapping out. You see that? Swapping out elements with just a word and living out your daydreams on your computer. So easy, okay? We're going to be looking at consistency. Notice we have this picture. We have this picture of Santa. I want you to notice the wrinkles in his face, all this stuff. We're going to be easily be able to put him into different images, okay, that we can just create with text. You see that's still his same face there. We're going to be able to create images of them, throw it back in, and then change the elements of that image itself. Okay, just with words, no needing to mask, no needing to paint anything. Okay, throwing them in here. Load, I thought we might need a little Tay-Tay, so throwing her image in there, getting that, and all of a sudden you've got our same Santa sitting there with Tay-Tay. And speaking of which, here she is, as easy as saying put her in a clown outfit so she's leaning over a railroad. Leaning over a rail at a railroad track, and it does it. So easy to do anything that you want with just a few words, okay? Incredible. And I'm going to show you how to install this. So we're going to get through that, get the models down, get you running, get you going fast, because that's what we're all about here. So hang in there. Here we go. All right, as usual, we have to have our ComfyUI workflow downloaded, okay? And we have to have ComfyUI installed. So pretty much everything in AI these days, you have to use ComfyUI. There are still standalone apps, but ComfyUI just, it dominates the space. It's just so powerful. There's so much that you can do with it that if you want to get into the hobby, you just kind of need to know how to use it. But the good news is it's very easy to get in. If you look at some of my other videos as well, I can get you going. Really, the best way to start is just go to comfy.getgoingfast.pro. It's totally free, okay? You can get that, come down here, and I've got a couple of installers that you can grab. One of them just has, it adds a little bit more stuff that you might not need, and the other one just kind of gets you going. But this is going to get you in the game. You got to download it, okay? Now, for us to get going with this workflow, you also have to have a workflow. All of these things, they come as what are called .json files, or they're typically referred to them as JSON files, okay? And that's basically just a database. It's a way of structuring data, okay, in an organized manner, and that's what ComfyUI does to say which nodes go where. These are called nodes, where that all go. So we got to get that file, okay? Now, if you go over to cognibuild.ai, splat, like that, okay? This is my personal blog. You go over here, click the blog button. You're going to see down here, it says Qwen 3 Edit 2511. Just click that bad boy, and you're going to see down here, here is the workflow. So all you got to do is you just go to right click on it, go save link as, and then put it on your desktop somewhere, and you'll be able to use it. Once you're in there, you then go to your file. You go here, file, open, okay? And then you'll find the file, and it will open up to this. Now, you might have some red nodes. When it loads up, it says some of the nodes are missing. That's fine. That is a totally normal thing, part of the ComfyUI experience. Well, my brain just kind of backed up on itself there for a second. It's part of the ComfyUI experience. To fix that, we just go up here to this manager. If you don't have this button here, manager, it probably means you're using an install that doesn't have it. Go to comfy.getgoingfast.pro, get this install manager, okay? They're going to pop up a window here, and all you got to do is you'll go to install missing custom nodes, and it's going to show you a list of what you're missing. It's no big deal. You just click on all. You'll click on install. It'll basically, it downloads the nodes, installs the requirements, and it's going to ask you to reboot. You're going to hit reboot. See, there's a restart button even. You'll say, yeah, do it. Yo, let her ride, eh? And then it'll come up and it'll say, now you need to refresh. You'll just click your refresh button, and then you're in the game, okay? Your nodes will all be there. But you still have to have your models installed. So things like this, Qwen Edit 2511, you got to get that. So I'm going to show you how to get it, where to put it, all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm not going to show you where to put it, but I'm going to show you where to put it. Okay, and we'll get you going. Now, that being said, if you just want to get this thing going, you don't want to deal with these models, go over to getgoingfast.pro. Okay, this is the website. I've got a really easy search thing here. Just type 2511 in. Okay, and it will pop this up here. And if you're a member, you can download it for free. This is a model manager. What it will do is it will put everything exactly where it needs to go. It will also download the workflow. My workflow is a little bit different than the one we just downloaded from the blog. Okay, so it's a little bit more organized, a few extra stuff added to it for quality, but you'll get all of that really easy. Or if you just want to buy it, you know, I know a lot of you guys just want to buy something, just click buy it, and you'll download it immediately, okay? And then you don't even have to become a member or nothing. But for those of you who wanted to get this done, we want to do it manually, let's get into doing it right now. Okay, so when we load up our models, it's going to look something like this. Now, if you got the free one, the version off of my blog there, the one that's not part of the member pack, all of this is going to be spread out a bit longer. So there's a few things, like this is our text prompt. That's going to be over here. In fact, pretty much all of this is going to be spread out over here. I took this one's kind of a pain to move stuff around, but I moved it all over here to just kind of organize everything we need to be in the same area. But just if your workflow doesn't look exactly like mine, just know that it's over here to the side. Okay, now what we want to do is we've got to get every one of these models down. We're going to need to get this diffusion model. That's our main model. We need to get this clip model. Clips basically are reading it, what's in the image and out. We get to get the VAE that helps with the colors and the tones. We're going to use this LoRa, which is pretty impressive. Now, yours is going to come out with this lightning 4 steps, which means that you're going to be able to do images very fast, because over here on this step stage, it's only going to run over it 4 times, and it's going to be incredible quality. All of these are 4 steps, 8 steps, incredible things. So that's a LoRa that we're going to use to speed up. You don't have to use it, but then you'll need to up your steps, and it'll take longer, and the quality isn't going to improve really. So, so we got a few things in here. We have to, you know, it's good to look around, see if we can find other models, which there are, and I will show you where they're going to kind of find them here, but we will get through each one of them. So to start, one thing I often do is I'll just run up my workflow and I'll just click the run button, okay, straight off the bat. This run button right here, okay, because when you do that, it will show you everything you're missing. So it'll say, oh, you're missing this model, this model. So then all you got to do is scroll out and look for the red lines in there. Okay, that's a little pro tip I'm giving you. You're welcome. Now, popping back into here, let's start with this first one, Quinn image edit. I'll move this out of the way. Get this back down here. Okay, Quinn image edit 2511. So we have to find this exact model. Okay, so what we're gonna do, this is how I usually do it. Either I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna start typing it in, Quinn image edit 2511 FP8. This is a lot of typing, but it's fine. You know, E4M3FM.SafeTensors. Okay, now I can do that, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to a new tab over here, and I'm just going to paste that in there. Now notice it's going to bring up a bunch of options. Well, over here on Hugging Face. If you find your way to Hugging Face, you're doing good. If you don't have a Hugging Face account, you should sign up for one. You need one for this hobby, okay? Now, notice I'm going to check it to make sure it's the same thing. There it is. And it's going to say it's stored with exec. It's too big to display, but you can still download it. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click the download button, and I'll show you where this goes. So this is going to pop up a window that looks like this. Now you need to go to wherever you installed your installation. So do not install this in your downloads. Do not install it on your desktop. You need to install ComfyUI in its own place. Okay, now When you get to there, you're going to see there's a folder called ComfyUI. That's where all your program is. And you're going to go into the Diffusion Models folder here, or the one that says Models. We're going to click that. Then we're going to see one in here that says Diffusion Models. Okay, click into there and just click Save. Now I want you to notice it's 20 gigabytes. Okay, this is a large file, but this is where that is going to go. Now, I'm not going to resave it. I'm going to cancel on mine. But now we've got the first model downloading. We can pop back over to here. We can get the next. Before I do that, I do want to show you, we typed this one in here before. I said there was a couple ways we can do this. The other way is you can hit your print screen, okay? And then you can just prompt it over here. And there's a couple things you can do. You can go up, it'll open up your snipping tool here, like this, okay? And you can just click on text actions if you have this, and then just go copy text. That's the easy way to do this, okay? The other way is to take it and throw it into Chat GPT and just say, translate this into text, okay? No matter what, then you can just, you can paste it in there. Okay, it is a little bit obnoxious with the snipping tool. I will show you when you do it, you have to, I did it just there. You have to actually keep it open. So you go to here and then copy the text. If I close this, I lose my copy. So you got to move it. And then we would go over here and paste it in there. But watch, once I close it, it usually won't work. So, all right, anyway, let's go over here. We'll grab our next model. Oops, why am I popping back over there? Okay, so we've got our diffusion model. Let's go down and grab our clip. So same thing, we can start typing it up here, Quinn underscore, but this time what we'll do, you can do that. That's the easiest, safest way to do it. Well, I don't know if it's the safest, but it's the least complicated. But otherwise, let's just print screen it, pop back up to our here, snippet tool, and we will do the same thing. Copy all as text, okay? Now I'm gonna keep that open because I don't wanna lose it. So I'll go back to here and let's go there. Now this one is going to open up again. You can see it's kind of right around the same area. So we'll click it. Now I want to put it here. I want to make sure that we're using the same file. So I'm going to paste this up here. And then I'm going to compare it. Qwen 2.5, VL, 7B, 7B. Yep. Okay, looks to be the same thing. So this time I'm going to click download. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back over to my E drive, or for me, my E drive. I'm going to go back to wherever your thing is installed. Go to our Comfy folder, click models, and I believe this one was our text encoders. We're going to look for a folder called text encoders. And there it is. Notice this one's 9 gigabytes. Okay, so you go ahead and save it there. I'll replace this one just so I don't have to keep drilling my way through there. But there you go. You've got the second model down. So let's pop back over. Oh, good Lord. We're going to need this VAE. So let's do the same thing. Let's scroll in. Just going to print screen this. I'm going to make it just enough of a, I just make a little box like this over it. Okay. Pop it up to our snipping tool. And copy all text. Okay. Go over here, paste it in there, and there we go. There's our Quinn image VAE. Now, again, with VAEs, be really careful. Make sure you got the exact right one because it can mess you up if you get the wrong one. And there's, I mean, all of these will mess you up if you get the wrong one, but the point being that there's a lot of VAE variants out there. So, all right, let's click models. So we go back to our ComfyUI folder, click into our models, and then we go to our VAE folder. Okay. There we go. Save it in there. So that one's not quite a gigabyte. That's a quarter, but that's 250 megabytes. Okay, so it's not small, but it's smaller. All right, now we got to go through here. Over here, this LoRa loader, don't worry about that. That's not in your the basic one. You can add this if you want. If you want to add a LoRa, you can just go to right-click, add nodes. I use the RG3. You'll see in this list it says RG3. And then I just grab this LoRa loader stack, okay? And it'll put that in there. And what you can do is you just attach these things, okay? So you basically put it in the middle. of everything else. So this was going to here, which was going straight to here, but I put this in the middle. Basically, this is like sitting there, okay? But we won't worry about that. You can add that yourself later and down your own LoRa's. But we need to get this lightning steps. So we will do this. We'll go print screen. Let's grab it again. Draw a little triangle over it. Open up the Schnurpen tool. The Schnurpen tool. Yeah, the tool. Okay. Copy the text. Now, we can do a couple things with this. Let's go back over here. Paste this in. This is going to bring up our come on, what's going on with my internet? All right, there we go. This is going to bring up this 4 steps 1 version 2. Okay, great. We're going to click download. This time we're going to go over to our LoRa's folder though. So it says here LoRa's. Okay, and then just click save, and it's going to put it into there. Okay, then you're ready. But now I do want to show you something. There's a version 8 of this, an 8-step. If you want the 8 steps, just change out that 4 to 8, okay? And it's going to bring up this one. It looks the same, but it says 8 steps. Do the same thing. You can just download it, put it into your LoRa section, be off to the races. Now, when you are doing your stuff here, you can choose the which version you want. If you want to use the 4 steps, then it's already set up for that. If you want to try 8 steps, see if you can get any better, you put it in here, but then go over here and change your steps to 8. Okay? So just whatever that LoRa is, the steps need to match. And it does make a difference. By the 8 steps to 4 seconds, it makes about a 2-second difference. So it does shave off some time. I haven't really seen any difference in the quality of those 2 things, okay? But now we have our LoRa's installed up here, okay? Got our diffusion model, our clip model, and our VAE model. Okay, and looking around, I believe that's our last model that we need. Sometimes you need a UMT file. This one, you don't. So all we got to do is get those ones, put them in there. And now I can go ahead and show you how to actually use this thing. Hey-oh. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice, well, I don't know if it's the first thing you'll notice, but what you can notice now that we've got all this stuff set up here, you're going to need to refresh, right? Make sure it all comes back on there. Look over here, you're going to see it says choose how many images. Now, again, on the other workflow, this might be over here. I moved it over to here. So there's a few things on here that if you can't find them on your workflow, it's just because you don't have the member workflow, which you, of course, can get just by going to GetGoingFast.pro. But just go find this one. It will be over here. Now, I want you to notice it has this switch, enable image 1, enable image 2, enable image 3. So these are all toggles off and on. Watch what's going to happen to this number 1 when I click off 1. Notice how everything grays out, okay? Let's actually click back over to here. Okay, now notice everything grays out. That's because what this toggle does is it turns these on and off. So notice number 2 is grayed out, but if I turn it on, then all of a sudden it's there. So it really is just set there for how many images you want. So we can start with just 1 image. Okay, so let's set that. Let's do a few other things here. Okay. I do want you to notice this over here. There's going to be a purple node. This is actually pretty important. Okay. This purple node tells us, it says, unbypass this node to use a custom resolution for the output image. Otherwise, the output resolution will be based on image 1. So notice this is a square. Okay. Whatever I put in, it's going to come out as a square the way things are set up right now. So it doesn't really matter the resolution so much. It's going to use that. If it was longer than it is wider, then the image would come out longer than wider. If it was taller than width, it would do that. So if I have an exact one I want, I need to go over to here, and I need to right-click this and go bypass. And then I can set this. Now, I don't know who set this to 4256. That's ridiculous. But let's say I wanted it to be 1024 by 720. Okay, so this would be like a landscape. Okay, I could set it. If I want to try to go up into high def, I can do it. But this has to be set this way. So you can notice over here on my outputs, that was a square because that thing was bypassed. If I had done it this way, this image would be wider than it is as is, okay? So that's first one. So you can just right click on that, click bypass to bypass it, not bypass. I want to show you another thing. This up here, if you're getting errors, this here, let's read this. It says enable this node only if you have Triton installed. Now, if you used the free Comfy installer that you get from getgoingfast.pro, you'll have Triton installed. So you can undo this. And again, it shaves off 2-3 seconds maybe kind of thing by having it installed. If you're getting errors, then what you do is just right click on this and just bypass it. Okay? And then you're not going to be worried about Triton because you don't have it on your computer. All right? Again, though, but there's no need to not have it. You just have to know how to install it. So, go watch one of my videos on how to install Triton, or go get the free Comfy installer. Okay. Okay. Those are your two big things there. Nothing over here you really need to worry about. Notice you have a seed and it's set to randomize. That's good. That means every time you'll get a different image. That's very important. Okay. There is one thing. Notice there is no save function with this. This is kind of cool, actually. This one down here has a little slider. You can see the original and then how it came out. That's cool. But there is no save. So you have to manually save everything that you generate, okay? Or else you'll lose it. So just what you can do is go up to one of these and you just right click on it and you just go save image and then it'll save the image. Or you go over to here and open it up and you go save image and then put it where she belongs, okay? So, okay, so there's kind of your basic stuff there. Now, I feel like there was something else over here to show you. Hold on just a second. Yeah, here. I moved it over here. On your originals, this green box, very important, is going to be over here. I moved it here. This is your prompt box. So notice I just put take a selfie of the man and the woman and the puppy. That was how I got that image of it. Real simple prompts, but this is very important. Your prompting does matter, but here's the key thing with this model. This model is so intelligent. It is so intelligent that you really don't have to prompt it aggressively. It's just understands what you want to do. Now, going back over here, I want you to notice I did change the width and the height of this to match this. I don't really know that it matters. I just want it to be smaller. I don't want to, because it changes the image size later. So I don't really know what the important thing is, but I want things to go a bit faster. So you can play around with matching this by hand, but honestly, it's going to do its own thing as how you've got it set up at any rate. So, all right, we are ready to actually generate. So we've got enable image 1. So we could throw in just this image. Okay. Now this is your classic. Type in something like, remove his sunglasses. Okay, and remove his sunglasses, remove his shirt, put him at the Grand Canyon, whatever you want. And it's going to do it all on this one image. And it's going to do it in about 30 seconds or so. Incredibly fast, okay? In our other videos, we talked about ControlNet and we talked about head swapping. So you can watch those videos on how to use the ControlNet or how to do the head swap stuff. Here, we're just going to really focus on the editing side of things and how easy that goes, okay? So, again, one image, all I got to do is write the change that what does they say? Be the change you want to see, right? Just write the change that you want to see, and it's going to do it. The cool thing with the prompting thing is, even if I had multiple people in here, I said, remove the blue shirt or make the blue shirt orange. It's going to recognize, it's smart enough to go and figure out, oh, this is a blue shirt, okay? With this, I wouldn't even have to mention blue because it's just one person. I could say, remove the shirt. And it would know, oh, there's a single shirt in here, and it will remove it. It'll remove the hat. There's only one hat. I can say, change the background to the Grand Canyon, and it will do it, okay? Incredibly powerful. Okay, so now let's say I want to do something like this. I want to create this image, okay? So I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to enable image 2. Now I've got 2 images. So I've got, we'll get to that. I'm jumping the gun here. So I've got my original image here for us to look at. And now I'll go down to my image 2. So I got the image 1, image 2. I had that puppy. And then all I got to do, I mean, it's so simple, guys. All I got to do is just say, have the man holding the puppy. Okay, and it's going to take that puppy. It's going to recognize that puppy's in image number 2. Here, it's not going to change anything in the background because I didn't tell it to. And I'm going to come up with an image that looks like this. And there it is. Man holding the puppy. Okay, now let's say I want to change it up a bit. So I'm going to undo the image 2 because I don't need that second image anymore. I've made the image I want. So I'm going up here. I disabled it. Okay, see, it's disabled. But now I've got this image I created. I just threw it into there. Now I could go over here and I could say, make this image animate. God, my spelling has gotten atrocious. Okay, and then I can run it, and it's going to come up with that. Okay, I mean, that's incredible. All right, that's really fantastic stuff, and it's so easy. You see how simple my prompts are. Okay, I know a lot of these other models you get, and you're like, you have to be so aggressive. This is what makes this incredible. A lot of these you have to be so aggressive. This one, it's like it's going like, let me edit for you. Oh, yes, let me edit. You know, other ones I'm like, okay, I want to edit for you, and you're like, it's like sitting there like, hey, listen, kid, I'll edit for you. And you're like, oh, okay, this is what I want. He goes, all right, this is what I got. And you go, well, that's not exactly what I want. What I want, he goes, listen, kid, okay, here, try this one. Okay, this is more like, hey, sailor, like, buy a girl a drink, right? It's easy. It's like you just go, hey, this is what I want. He goes, yeah, I got it right here in the back of my trunk. Here you go. And it's exactly what you're looking for. Okay, such easy prompting things. Change it to anime. Remove the glasses. Okay, I went ahead. You saw what we did over here. I put in the guy and the girl. Okay, let me get that. Prompt it up here. There it is. I got guy, that handsome devil there, and this girl. This isn't a real girl, by the way. It's just a generated one. And put them in there. Make sure the image number 2 is up. And I go over here, take the man and the woman, and have them kiss. And it did it. Okay, now remember, it did it in that same square as the number 1, because remember, over here, this isn't bypassed. So it used the size of this, and it did the image. Then what I went ahead and did is we can go ahead and do this. Enabled image number 3, and we have the puppy. And then all I got to do is go up here and say, take a selfie of the woman, and the puppy. Then you just run it, and there you go. So again, I made sure that these were all enabled. Okay, and there is a picture of me and my fake girlfriend, and that is actually my real dog. That's a little black bow tie girl. She's such a sweetheart. She's all big now, but she was so cute. Anyway, now I do want to notice sometimes you might say like, oh, I wanted to use all 3, and you didn't do the second one. Well, that's where like this photo actually popped up. I actually didn't edit that out. It actually just created that puppy. I said, take a selfie of me, the woman, and the dog, but didn't know who the dog was. So it just went ahead and created that golden retriever puppy, which is a cute puppy, but I'm telling you, ain't nothing like a Springer. So there you have it. That is easy peasy stuff. I'll go through it again. Really simple. You got 3 images, okay? Image 1, 2, and 3. And you can activate them or deactivate them with this button here, okay? And just simple prompts. Again, if you just want to do some basic things here, you pick your file that you want to change, okay? Say remove her hat. And it is going to do it, okay? These other ones, you would have to go in there. Here, let me actually show you what it did. A lot of these other control nets, and you'll understand why this is so easy. The other one, you would have to right click on here, and you would do something like this: open in mask editor. Okay, then you'd have to go in and you'd have to change this, and then you'd be like, oh, too big, too small. We'd be like, okay, let's mask her hat. See, in the other control nets, you have to do all this kind of stuff. You say, this is the area that I want to change. And it kind of works this way. Guys, this one you don't have to do it. You just prompt it, and it's smart enough to figure out what a hat is, smart enough to figure out what hair is. Just incredible model. So very easy. That is how you install it. Okay, shouldn't take you that long to figure out. Again, if you just want to get it fast and get going, go over to getgoingfast.pro and you get it free as a member, or you can get it as a one download. Okay, and you get the special prompts as well as a few extra LoRa's that I threw in here, like the Instagram one here. You just type in Instagram here. Take an Instagram photo, and it actually improves the quality. And then I added these things also. I got some other head LoRa's that do a bit better for head swapping. That's in the other video that we talked about that. But all these LoRa's come with the member stuff. So, but otherwise you can find them as well. So, and I've shown you how to do all of that. And there you have it, guys. We got you installed. After all that, we have your head, we have you not face swap, we have you head swapping, we have you just expert at ControlNet, and now we have you expert at getting this installed so that you can do your head swapping and your ControlNet. All right. So good on you. All right. If this video was helpful, I do appreciate you liking and subscribing. That really helps us a lot here. And it is almost New Year, so we're just going to be hanging out over on the Discord. A lot of us, I know you alone on New Year's, and it's all good. We're all loners, man. That's why we've got AI, right? Come hang out with us other loners out here, and we're going to be working and tapping. And it's not always the most exciting place, but if you come in and you want to share what you're working on, we'll be like, hey, that's cool. That's great, man. That's awesome. Hey, check out what I did too. And what I typically do is grab a project to work on. So I'm going to be working on a project just over the new year. So I'll ring in that new year bell, tapping away, making my Magnus Opus. So, all right. Anyway, you guys be good. I'm going to give you one of the big salutes. Happy New Year's, all that good stuff. And we will catch up with you right around the corner. Hey, yo.